Alright, this is the condition that we have the 70 model Dodge truck in. Hey, is that how you flip an axle? Alright, so what we're working on is the bushing that goes in here. So what I'm doing, I'm not going to replace the shell. That's just a nightmare. I don't do that unless it's just absolutely necessary. What I'm going to do, I'm going to clean this out real good, and we're going to modify a polyurethane bushing to fit it. The poly bushing came off the 73 up four-wheel drive. Is what that fits, and it's a 1 inch, and this isn't 1 inch, it's like 3/4 or something like that. I can't find a bushing for that. Maybe someone has a bushing for it. I can't find one, let alone a poly bushing. So that's why we're going to modify that. And once we get that done, we can go ahead and get our leaf spring shackles all cleaned up and get those installed and ready to get the leaf springs put on. Okay, still a little bit of mess on the table from doing the cylinder head porting. So what we have is this bushing set right here. Energy suspension. It is a 2-piece set. So I'm going to measure that. I know how long it needs to be, and I know what the diameter roughly needs to be, right? Because I can measure those things. So to get to the diameter, I'm going to try... See, I'm not going to reuse the metal shim in here, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to chuck that up on the drill and then spin it either end, something like that. And then I can come in here with like my Dremel and a sander roll or burr bit or something and slowly start taking material off. And with this spinning, it's going to do it evenly. That's the idea anyway. It'll be mostly even. All right, so why am I not going to use that? Let's come over here and dig stuff out that I should have had prepared. All right, so here's our shackle. So that's the same diameter both ends, and these right here fit. Now it doesn't have lube on it or anything. They fit pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to do it one-handed. There we go. So they fit exactly right. Now, once I clean this up and put the supplied lube in there on there, that'll fit quite nicely on that. Well, one-handing it over here. So if we look at our length, we know by the time that does that and does that right there, we're going to be setting pretty good. There might be a hair of a gap, but we're going to be good. I mean, this isn't some sort of, 3/4 ton or 5 ton or whatever. It's going to be okay. All right, let's see here. They gave us a couple packets of the specialty grease that you use with these. Do not use regular mineral grease with these. It'll just absolutely turn it into an Oreo cookie. It's quite nasty. I had to replace some bushings on some control arms for the Mustang. Jim, 89 Mustang, found some tubular control arms in a junkyard, and they put regular grease in them, and every one of those bushings were absolutely destroyed. And then I got to try to figure out where to get the, the cheap control arms that you can get. I had to try to figure out where to get the bushings. Well, you can't buy those bushings. So I had to go in and try to figure out what bushing, play the game we did right here. Okay, well, I need this IDOD length and try to figure out what matches it, right? So do not use normal grease on there. You will regret that. Use this or the dielectric grease, or you can buy more of this stuff right here. Okay, so that's the idea. I think I covered that. I need to go ahead and get stuff cleaned up. I need to get that hole cleaned up. I'll get one of these leaf springs right here, the shackles cleaned up. I did order my leaf spring. What I ordered was for the same thing, 73 Dodge truck. Actually, I ordered it for my 78 Power Wagon, my dad's 78 Power Wagon. I ordered it for that with a 6-leaf stack. That should get us up there lifted pretty good, because I want to come up a little bit on this truck. We're doing a military truck build. So I ordered that. I ordered one from Rock Auto. I was going to try the parts store, but I could get both of them from Rock Auto with shipping for the price of one at the parts store. So Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. So I ordered one because they are kind of expensive. It's like 120 bucks and 35 bucks shipping. And that allows me a little bit of budget wiggle room, and I get to kind of try it out and make sure it's going to work, because I think it's going to work. I think I'm kind of committed once I get it in. It's not like I can really return it. Yeah, right. So we're going to make that work, and this is the first step into getting to making that work. Okay, by the looks of it, you probably realized that didn't work. This stuff is really hard. If that would have been a rubber bushing, that would have worked beautifully. I tried a couple different tools, and it ain't wanting to budge. So I've had to resort to fairly aggressive to get something to move on it as far as machine down. So I didn't want to do it like this because it's going to be all wavy, but honestly, there's some ways I can smooth it out once I get close to it, and we'll go into that later. So I'm trying to keep it fairly even right now, and I'm just coming in and just hitting it lightly, and I need to go ahead and do a rotate and hit it lightly again and keep coming down. But we need to be about 0.9 inches in diameter is about where I need to go, and we started out like 1.05 or 6 or something. So yeah, so we got a good about 160 to take off of it, 150, something like that. Anyways, I'm going to keep working this. I'll probably come up with a better idea, maybe. That shoulder, what I just got my Dremel to come in there, and I'll probably just radius that shoulder out real good since I'm taking it down in diameter. Well, that's about it. I am getting there. A little ugly, but I think I can get it. It's slow going. This polycarbonate wheel here really sped it up. The problem I have is the best way I found to do it is to sit there and do that and rotate it, but that's just tearing my hands up. Yeah, I'll have to think on that. But the polycarbonate, man, it's smooth. It's removing material, and it's doing a great job. Much better than a wire wheel. It's got the window open over there. You don't even know what I have on there. So anyways, I'm going to think on that. Now, the thing is, if I was doing one, that's one thing, but I have 4 of them to do. And yeah, my hand is cramping up. I have trouble with my hands and wrists, so I got to watch doing that kind of stuff for sure. That'll definitely tear it up. But you see what I've used? I got the Dremel with a burr bit I was using for porting cylinder heads. I even put a wrench on the end of this to help kind of give extra torque on it. I have the wire wheel. The wire wheel is getting there, but it's rough. It's rough. And that's what I'm trying to get out of there is I got some unevenness. Now we're getting pretty close on that. I probably need to measure it and see where we're at. Okay, this is what works. Got it in there. Got to butt it up and get there. I get there against there, right? And what I'm doing is I'm taking the drill and I'm taking this and I'm just going roundy round, right? And just doing that number with it right there. That's pretty controllable, and if I need to do a little bit more area, I can focus on it and just keep going around and spiral in, spiral out. It's taking it off pretty quick, and it's easier on my hands than doing it the other way. We're getting close. We're getting close. So I think we can come in probably right about there, so it'll just take just a little more, and I think we're ready to go ahead and slobber it on this thing right here. And well, I don't want to drive it in because I need to do another one, right? The cool thing about this kit is you get 8 of them and you only need 4 for the upper, so you don't have to, if you're going to put these in your leaf springs, you don't have to do all this for the leaf spring side. This is just the body side. That's it. So these will fit right in your leaf springs, unless you're getting new ones, which come with bushings, but you could go ahead and, if you wanted to, remove the rubber bushings and put those in there. But I think of it as, I got a couple I can screw up before I get it right. All right, getting it in. Now, I don't know if this piece goes in that way or comes in this way. I really don't know. I can't remember how I took it off. I don't think it matters. Now we're still a little tight, and trying to get that in there, I was trying to hammer it, and that's pointless because it's a bushing and it's just going to absorb the shock. So I took my C-clamp and kind of gave it a little bit of pressure, and it didn't take much. So I got the nut started on there, and I'm just going to suck it all the way in. Now all the other ones that I put in will now have an alignment. I kind of know what I'm doing, and I can get it to kind of fit in there a little bit better. And then, you know, same thing, I can get that to drive in much better. But I kind of like this way because you see we've got this weird stuff going in here where it's hard to reach the back side. So regardless, I think I want to run it like this because the nuts are on the outside and easy to get to, so if I ever have to take it apart, I can. Whereas the inside is just a huge pain. Anyways, that's how I'm doing it. I don't see any danger in doing that either way. Okay, it's in there. It's sucked up pretty good. I don't know if we can see. Gotta get on the floor. But it's seated in there good. I like it. It's tight, not loose whatsoever, and that's what we want. We don't want all worn out junky bushings. I did forget to tell you, I did ream out the hole with just a little burr bit right here. I got like the little 6-inch one for doing head porting, and I just went in there and touched it up and it worked. So I'll need to go ahead and get that nut broken loose, get that off, and then I'll drive the other bushing in whenever I get it done. But my hand's hurting. I need to stretch it and let it recoup a little bit before I do that one. I'll show you what it looks like when we get it in. I'm going to use the same technique. I think it's working. It's easier on my hands, and it gets it pretty round for what we're doing here. Now, a lathe would be better, or better yet, if someone actually made the right size bushing. That would be amazing, you know, but no one that I know of does that. So this is what we get to do on our vehicles that they don't make parts for, or at least the parts we want, or I don't think anyone makes a bushing for that. So this is pretty much what you're stuck with. Number 2 done. Went way faster. I'd say 3 to 5 times faster. Alright, now it's going to be a little tough because that pin might not be lined up, so this is what's going to help kind of line that pin up there. I think it may be a two-hand deal. I don't know. We're going to, yeah, it wants to go in crooked too. Probably because that's setting crooked. Yeah, it's not even started. Okay, hold on. That's not wanting to go over the pin. That's what we got going on right there. Okay, I take it back apart. The bushing on the inside is pushing out like it doesn't want to seat in good, and that is a sleeve, right? So I think it's better to run this in this way, because if something goofy happens back there, the frame's in the way and you can't get it out, and it's just aggravating. So I think that's how I'm going to have to run. So that answered that one question. So right now, I think my bushings are a little tight. But what I think I can do, I might be able to get the clamp on there and suck them in, because hitting them, they just bounce off, you know. It's kind of how that works. That's bushing. It's supposed to absorb. I've got this crap all over my hands too. It's been a turd. I just want to let you know that. But I'm going to figure it out, and then you'll know what to do. Alright, I had to go inside and wash my hands of all the crud. Okay, so what we have here is this one is getting super close to getting in. It kind of has a bevel up, and I put that in something like right across the way over there. Anyways, what the trick is, it should work just like how these were, like how it normally go in if it were made to go in. It's you lube up your bushings, slide them in, whatever you're doing, and then put the pin in, right? Of course, I didn't realize that this was a pin that goes on there, right? I didn't know that. It just looked like a shoulder bolt thing, so that was my bad. That threw me off a little bit. That's why I kind of did it the way I was doing it. But what we're going to do is clean these up, all that nasty crud all over it. That stuff's nasty. And then continue working them. Like this one's really close. Get that to where it goes in. Get the other one to where it goes in. And then slap the pin in there and then put the shackle on. We're done. That's the trick right there. Addendum here. I'm adding it in after I did the first side. The second side, you can see looking pretty good there. Here's the trick. Will it fit? Turn it the right way. 7/8 wrench. Goes on smooth. I mean, it has a little bit of touch, but you know, it's got to go on smooth, then you know that you're going to fit pretty good. And that's how you tell. Right there.